What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and right now I'm going to try to make an absolutely insane weapon. What I did initially is I took and rolled weapons till I had one really high tier stat, the number physical, because I'm going to have to reroll two physical modifiers. Then I've taken and used orbs of augment and alteration orbs to get the attack speed. Now I'm just going to upgrade it with. Oh wait, this isn't a high tier. I need a different one. I'm gonna upgrade it with high tier mods, and then I'm going to remove and re-roll till I have a perfect item. Um, so my last modifier will be crafted dual mod. Um, but I'm pretty safe in adding a bunch of high tier modifiers. I'm hoping that I get lucky. So we'll do the 3 high tier. Um, so I'm hoping that I get lucky and hit some stuff so that I don't have to re-roll like 3 stats. So hopefully I'll get lucky on this. This is actually my second try at this. So I'm gonna hope that I get lucky. So I got easy things to remove. I got global critical strike multiplier, so my bottom is basically finished, and that chaos damage is actually pretty sweet. Um, so I can guaranteed remove the fire. It's tier 1 chaos, so honestly, like I might just go for a physical modifier here, because this is actually going to be a really insane weapon. I'm going to go ahead and seal up my bottom. Um, I'll decide whether I'm going to reroll that chaos, because chaos damage works for bleed builds. So yeah, that's cool. Um, I'm not completely sure if I want to spend an Exalt on it yet, so I'm going to just craft this on here to block it. So I want that bottom sealed up. Now I need to remove fire, and then I'm going to augment physical, and then I'll be able to reroll physical until I have a tier 1 mod. So, because it's possible that, like, if I get a tier 1 dual mod, I could want to remove the chaos. I can guarantee to remove that chaos, but if I hit tier 1 flat physical, there's nothing for me to craft on to be good. So I'm going to work on that fire first and see what I wind up with. So I need remove fire. Okay. And then I'll augment a physical, and then I'll be able to re-roll the physical, and the physical won't touch anything else. You can go ahead and take a look at this. I can't roll on the attacks because, well, actually I could re-roll. No, because my attack speed, duh. Okay, so we're going to remove that fire. Now we've got it down to 5 stats. And now I need to augment to physical, and then we're going to just be re-rolling physical for physical till I get a tier 1. So that I'm going to need. Okay, I got an augment physical. Physical for physical. I don't know how many physical for physicals I have. We'll take one of these, because once I get it on there, we'll re-roll it to get it nice and purty. Okay, so I don't have a ton of rolls, so I'm kind of gonna hope that I get lucky.
But I cannot do this yet.
And the cool thing is if I want to, I can re-roll that critical. I can just indefinitely re-roll that to get the tier 1 because I'm crafting on that dual mod. Um, so, you know, if I want to do that, that's why I'm not going to put an exalt on it. It's not done yet right now. I know I want that blocked up. But, okay, so I got augment physical. Alright, we got useless stat. Actually, I'm gonna go to my physical area. So I don't have. I got a nice open spot of re-rolling. Okay. So now we're gonna do physical for physical. Remove a physical, add a physical. But went back to leech life. Gross. Move physical, add physical. Okay, so I hit just a low percent increase. That's obviously a reroll. There's no way I'm settling with that. This could be like a long-term project but this will be what my physical for physical replaces will go towards. Physical for physical, and it goes back to mana again. Man, that's okay. Physical for physical. Physical, add physical. What did I get? Oh, I got a really low dual mod. Okay, so I'm out of rerolls, but basically I'm just gonna be indefinitely re-rolling this until I have a tier 1. And that's kind of the process. And like I said, you know, if I wind up the tier 1 chaos isn't a bad stat if I wind up with, so like if I wind up getting merciless on here, this is what I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a one-handed axe. So I could wind up hitting this merciless, 170 to 179% increased physical damage. Obviously, at that point, I'm going to wind up keeping that. But at this point, then, like, if I have an open slot there, then I have to slam on I either have to, like, slam a physical and I'm just going to get something random, or you know, like if I wanted it to be an elemental weapon, I could wind up doing that. But I already have a tier 1 chaos on there. At any point, I can take and remove that because I just used to remove chaos. But the axes are used pretty heavily. They're pretty popular for like for bleed impale, which is a damage over time, chaos damage over time. So that's not the worst thing to have on it. But as far as the crafting bench, so we'd be able to craft, we're only able to craft one of these, like all of these. These are considered the same thing essentially, and I can't use an influence slam because I fractured it. So there's just really nothing for me to put on here that's going to be beneficial. I mean, like if I wanted to do like penetration or something like that, maybe, or if I wanted to, you know, go for number percent, if I'm going to use it on an elemental build, I could do that, but having that on there at this point isn't going to be worthwhile. The one situation that I would take and remove that chaos for sure is if I get this dual mod, if I were to get this, you know, tier 1 dictator's accuracy plus increased physical, this would be 79% increased physical damage. And then I would still be able, because that's a dual mod, so it doesn't block the craftings. So then I would be able to take and craft this increased physical damage for 129%, which would essentially give me 208% increased damage with the accuracy. Um, So that would be a situation that I would do that, because it would be worthwhile for me to pull that off because I would actually be able to craft something beneficial onto the weapon. So I'm kind of looking for really only one of these two stats, which is probably going to take me a lot of rolls without luck because this is only a 25 stat and this is only a 25 stat. So just in this, 1 out of 20, wait, no, 1 out of 40. 1 out of 40, 1 out of 80, 1 out of, it's a really low chance of hitting that. So I'm gonna have a lot of rerolling. um Unless I just get some luck, and then we also have, these, which already were showing up. So this will probably be a long-term project for me. But this is a example of how you can use the fracturing and, how to do that, how to kind of go about it. I've got a pretty good base at this point. Obviously, unless I just want to throw currency at it to try to get buy a bunch of them and just re-roll them. This is going to be basically, as I collect, I'm going to re-roll. The nice thing is the critical strike multiplier, so I can actually go for a tier 1 on this, if I want to do crit for crit reroll. Depending on how, good I make the top is probably going to kind of depend on, if I want to spend that much on it. Um, if I get my tier 1 merciless and, then I'm probably am going to want to go ahead and go for that tier 1 crit multiplier, which this is actually kind of like a perfect setup. And the reason why, which the tier 3 right now is actually better than the crafted, so that's already better. The crafted goes up to 28%. So that's kind of a win. But here, we'll go ahead and look at this. The suffixes for critical, there's only 2 critical rolls here. We want to have the crafted one because this gives us, a 18% increased, quality, which is really nice. The main reason why is because, like, for this, I kind of plan to probably do like a weapon
I cannot do this
range,
yet.
a weapon range craft on this because I think that will be really cool for the enchant. Weapon range. So this right here, it gives for 10%, you get a +1 to the weapon range. So a, um, if I put a tier, the tier 1 crit dual mod, and then I take and put even the lowest version of the hillock on there, weapon increase, then I'll have a 40%, a 42%, um, a 42% quality weapon, which will give me a +4 to weapon range, which would be really cool. So that's kind of one thing that I was thinking about for it. Um, so yeah, that's a possibility. I could also, if I want to go for the area of effect, I'll probably want to do something cool with it like that when I finish it. Like I said, this is kind of a long-term project. I don't even have the build for the weapon yet, but I wanted to make something cool, and I figured to make some good content since I had a bunch of the craft saved. Um, so, you can use this process for pretty much any item. The ones that I've been working on have been, the fracture would actually be really good for like the jeweled foil. I actually did a bunch of these to try and, get a tier 1 physical, to make this video, and I ran out of bases on foils. I have a lot of fractures, but I decided to go ahead and give this one a shot, to see if I could hit it, and I did, so it got used for the video content. But the jeweled foil is actually a really good choice, and the reason why is because the jeweled foil already has an implicit modifier. So, like, synthesizing jeweled foil would be pointless, like, because, it would remove the multiplier that's already on there, and in a lot of cases, the synthesis is probably going to wind up ruining the base. unless you just do a bunch of them till you get a really good fractured one. But trying to replace that 25% multiplier, the siege axe would actually be a good base to go for a synthesis on, because you could get something where there's nothing there yet. So, if you're gonna pick a base, that might be like, if you don't have a ton of fractures and you're trying to get like a really good base for a build, that might be a factor that you want to consider when you're going for the fractures. Um, so yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.